Call this meeting, council to order today, September 15th, 2020, here at the Stafford County Annex. Are there any additions to the agenda? Okay, moving on to citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments this evening? Consent agenda, approved minutes, regular council meeting, September 1st, 2020.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Appropriation ordinance 915-2020 in the amount of $26,664.47.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Is there any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have 4 ayes, 1 abstain. Okay, department heads, electrical department, Jeff.
I don't really have anything. We haven't gotten very far on that deal on First Street because we don't have a survey out there. Phil told me that the right of way out there is 80 feet, so if we don't get one pretty quick, I'm gonna measure it out, come back a foot and see what it looks like and go from there. We've had some mechanical issues with a compressor and some other stuff, and we've worked on them, and we've been cutting down some services, putting some up, moving some transformers, stuff like that. But other than that, it's just been, well, fixed a couple of water leaks while Jason was gone and that, so just, we're busy.
Okay.
So,
All right. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Jeff?
Have the parts come in for that Northwest Street deal yet?
yes, he dropped the wire off yesterday. Yeah, we'll get it done this week too. Yep.
Anything else? Moving on, water department, Jason.
The only thing I have is I reprinted this, the hydrant project for the fireman's thing, and if you want to look over it, I didn't know what they wanted to do, but I am going to remind everybody that the 6-inch meter on the bottom, that is not the accurate price. He has not got back with me yet, and talking to Jeff, and then Mike said that was going to be around that area, so I just put it down there to give everybody an idea of the 4,200. And so this is it. I didn't know if you guys, the firemen, wanted to get this stuff coming this way for this year and then figure out what they wanted to do and then go from there.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Jason?
The only thing we don't have on there is a board under the street.
All right.
I
Sorry.
think it's something they needs to be done, you know, just get a price on the board.
I think what we talked about was getting it this year, and then when they have time, after the first of the year in the spring, they can go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
If that works.
I'd just find out exactly what that meter costs and what it costs to bore it. Of course, it might change a little
Unless
bit.
they've changed, it's about $30 a foot, give or take $1 or $2. That's what it has been. Now 6 inch is going to be a little bit bigger, but it shouldn't be a lot. So I'll get a hold of M&D and we should have an answer pretty quick. So
How far is that, Jason?
121.
Huh?
121. Right where you stepped it off, that's where it was.
Okay, anything else for water department? Okay, moving on, street and park department.
On that, I talked to Phil, and the only thing I need for an okay is if I couldn't get 3 more loads of chat, just to make sure we have enough to cover the oil. And then I was going to call Bob, and he said when I get the okay from you, he'll get to hauling it tomorrow.
Council.
How much is that?
It's gonna be around, what did I say, 3? For a truckload, it was 980, 940, something like that for a truckload of it. And I was just talking to him, and he said he'd like to get 3 more loads, and I agree, because I was going to use the older stuff, but the way he was talking, you know, and the way we were talking, we just don't want it to crumble up. Because I was going to use it on Grace, it's a lot less trafficked area, but, you know, what's it worth to have it go ahead and have it right. So that's what I was just wanting to see if I couldn't get 3 more loads of that here on standby just in case we needed it.
Council, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Times me, yeah, do it right, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Do we need John, do we need a motion on that, or it's just approval?
Yeah, how much was it?
Around 3,000.
3,000 or less.
Okay, anybody care to make a motion on that?
I'd make a motion to allow them to buy 3 loads of cat for roughly $3,000.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Anything else, Jason?
He wants to start it Thursday, so we'll be starting Thursday.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Jason? Okay, moving on. Have we heard anything from Lisa Cornwell, Grant Administrator?
Nope.
Nope, okay. All right, moving on. Police Chief, Chief Adams.
The only thing I got some more complaints, and we've kind of had some issues with it too. So I would like to see council what their consensus is on if we want to look into a no parking area there from the corner of Main and 4th, going north to the old fire station there on the east side, 500 block there of North Main, where the semis are parked. Can't see the intersection. I've gotten several complaints of people pulling out and then they're having to stop because the trailers and everything's there. I know we've brought it up and we've talked about it before, but I think, I've gotten a couple more complaints and I've pulled out in front of people in the patrol car too. And that's not a good thing to be seen when the cop pulls out in front of you, but I think it's something we need to look at of, parking on that side or something, putting it as a no parking.
I'd have to agree with that because there's been times when I've driven students going to their work sites, and I've pulled out in front because I can't see. And it makes it dangerous, and I'm responsible for these students. And I just don't want to get into an accident and have any problems that way. So I don't know what the rest of council thinks, but I'd like to hear your opinions on this.
I'm fine with it, I mean, that's,
Just on the east side of the street.
Yeah, I mean, everybody pulling up there on the square, I mean, you can't see traffic that's at the north coming south, out of there, and then they're not seeing anybody who's sitting at the stop sign when they pull out too. I mean, we've gotten lucky that we haven't had an accident there, but there's been a lot of people pulling halfway out and then having to stop and then that car go through, so. Yeah, I just think right there for this, because I don't know, whether or not you want to look at it being parallel parking, or the angle parking there for just normal cars, but a big truck, you just can't see that intersection as you're pulling out. Yeah, so, I think then come winter time when cars can't stop as quick, things like that, then we may start having a problem, I don't know.
Anybody have any objections to Chief Adams moving forward to making this happen?
I think we have to adopt a resolution, we're trying to think.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out what we did, but
That's why I'm
change
saying,
the
I
street
just want to
direction.
look into it so we can see what it is that we need to do, because it's not gonna be just a simple,
Exactly.
we make it a no parking area, yeah.
Right. Okay, go ahead and move forward with that, look into it, and then get with John, and then we'll come bring it to council. Okay, anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Chief?
We do need to figure out a truck parking. We gotta make it a priority. and
Yeah,
figure it
that's-
out. It's gotta happen.
Yeah, I need to look into that this morning.
It's as important as any infrastructure
do we need to put
project.
that back on old business?
Yeah.
You
So
know,
you
you
want
probably,
that
you probably should. I mean, Ross is right, we need to, that's something that we definitely need to look into. It's-
We gotta give them a spot to park.
Yeah,
I mean, we just gotta do it, figure it out, make it happen.
yeah.
It's gotta
Jamie, go ahead and put that back on old business, please.
We'll find something to take off there.
Okay, moving on. Fire Chief, Chief Sanders.
I don't know anything.
Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Chief Sanders? Okay, moving on. City Administrator, Jamie.
I feel like I should have so much more, but I don't. Jason and Alan and myself went to Wichita to take the pesticide tests. When they say it's hard, they mean it. But Alan and I passed our general, and we're gonna have to go back and take our Section 8. So we're gonna attempt that and go from there. I think Jason's gonna set out and we'll move forward. 'Cause, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so,
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right,
I'll be
anybody?
checking yard. I know there's a lot of gruntle, whatever you wanna call it, about people's yards and this and that, and mowing and grass in the streets, and, you know, when I get the complaints, I do send out a little reminder. I haven't moved really more than that, just because it's almost the end of the season. I feel like that's something that if we need to be taking a different avenue on that, then we need to be doing it at the beginning, not start, if I need to be that worried about people weed eating and mowing and the grass, or blowing the grass in the streets. I feel like that's just kind of a beginning of the season thing, so. And we got the edger, and we got up by the city office edged, and the Wit Center. Dale and I edged the Wit Center today, and it's, obviously you guys know edging takes a little bit of time to make it look better, but I feel like it did give it a good little facelift, so.
Okay.
I've been working on that.
Jamie, on your administrative report, you've got ordinance 1071-20, the house numbers. Council, do you want, she's got in here, do you want the police to make it past your town so we can reach out to those that still don't have the house numbers? Is that something that,
Well, that was something I was gonna actually bring up, because like with the mowing, it was like we've been trying to make judgment calls. It was pretty wet when we were supposed to check mowing last, so we were just gonna wait till the 20th. So Monday I'll go around, and before Tori has volunteered to drive me around when she's out patrolling, so she can just go up and down every street like they do. And so I just tagged along with her, and we could get both of it done at the same time. So I was thinking, I don't know if she's on or willing, but I was gonna see if that's what you guys wanted, we could do that when we check yards, and it would get everything done at the same time, so.
okay, council?
Fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anything else, Jamie?
Keep this on old business, like what do you guys want? I guess my question was really, what do you guys want to see done with that now that it's passed? And, I mean, can we take it off? Because it's really gonna be the department heads taking care of it now, unless it needs to come back to you guys? Or do you want it kept on until every house has a house number?
Do you think got tons of them way up? I mean, are we way off?
I mean, we had, I don't even remember how many house numbers we bought. It was like $500 or $600, so, I mean, there was a lot less, I guess, that ordered than I thought would. So, I honestly, I don't know, I can't answer that. Honestly, I can't. But, I mean, when I go check mowing, I can get a better idea of it too, so.
How about keep it on the old business until you go around checking?
Okay.
All right. Okay, anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Jamie? Okay, moving on. City Attorney, John.
Just one quick question. Next Tuesday, you guys have your hearing on the dangerous and unfit structures. What do you want to see from us? Do you want those packets again? Do you want to bring the packets you had previously? Do you want us to figure out how to rig up the, I don't know what you even call it, the projector?
I've still got my packet, so I mean,
I put it in a bigger folder so you guys can add your papers to it.
Right. I'll find this green packet back.
Do you care what order we go in? I would kind of like to organize it myself, if I can be the one to call the properties and.
however you guys want to do it, it's fine by me.
We want to have the projector so everybody can see it, anybody that's here can.
My concern is people not even knowing what condition their property is in, if we could project what we're talking about.
Correct.
And I'm fine with that.
Definitely.
Yep.
I think it'd be better just to go ahead and have the projector up.
Oh, I know how to work it. I just can't turn it on very well. It's fine.
All right. Anything else,
We
John?
need to do something with this.
That's it.
though.
Do we need anything with this neighborhood revitalization?
Oh, the agreement, yes, thank you. I just need approval for Mark, to sign the agreement. It's an agreement from the county for the neighborhood revitalization program that the city's been involved in, and I don't know how many years.
It's at least the second or third time you guys have done the ordinance since I've been city attorney. I don't know how many years the county's had the revitalization program. You guys are doing the agreement.
I'd make a motion to renew the agreement for the neighborhood revitalization through December 31st of 2025.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Jamie, you have that, available for me to sign today or tomorrow?
Yeah, I'd like to have you sign it.
Okay. Okay. Anything else for John? Okay, moving on to old business. Anything on there that council would like to discuss?
Do we have an update on our loader? Did they tell us that?
So I actually talked to I'm working with SJ and Bank out of La Crosse, and I talked to Ryan today, and he's kind of waiting on, like a serial number, but we're not gonna have a serial number for a couple months until the machine's actually built. So all of the ducks are in a row. We're just waiting. All the ducks are not in a row. We're waiting for the last two to get in line. So
Okay.
once we get all of that, then Ryan has everything ready for the bank loan, and we'll get everything processed.
90 days, isn't that what they said?
Yeah, he said about 3 months, so.
First of the year?
We won't get any snow for that. We won't get it.
Okay, anything else off of old business that council would like to discuss?
I guess we need to discuss water tower.
Well, that's right. Moving on. Okay, water tower discussion. Gentlemen?
30 here for questions.
Okay, anybody have any questions for either company?
On the Viking, on this 5-year contract for service, on this 36, the first 5 years are 36.
Yep.
We're basing that off the 177 with
Well,
some interest, obviously, but then, and then this is just a contract of service for the inspection,
That
not
would
the
just-
maintenance program.
right. That would be future costs that would be incurred at that time.
And then the projected.
All I did there was, I just took what it would cost to repaint the tank in today's dollars.
Right.
And I just forecasted it out.
I hear you. That's what I thought, okay.
That way you could look at it over time.
Right.
And compare.
On the one from McGuire here, you've got the 10-year cost schedule.
Yes, we provided, at the request of the council, we provided a contract for services with a 4-year spread and a 5-year spread. And then we provided a maintenance program that shows for 10 years.
Is that what the cost, the Schedule A or whatever shows basically the 5 years for the repairs plus the...
Yeah, there's a 4-year spread and there's a 5-year spread as well with the maintenance program. I mean, it's an evergreen contract where it renews every year. And then we have all of the scope of work being completed in the first year. Or first year of that 2021, if that's when you want. We do have the availability to complete the work this year as well.
We want them to step outside so we can discuss a few things. Did that make everybody more comfortable? Is that all right, guys? What's that?
Yeah, that'd be
Give us 10
fine.
or 15 minutes, step outside, and let us talk. Sure.
And I would say, which I'm sure Rick would too, if there's a question, specific
Yeah,
question,
we can bring
we'd be
somebody.
more happy to come in separately
Yeah.
and answer.
Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do we,
Shut the door.
They go outside.
they're going all the way up, okay.
Yeah, they're on.
Jamie, you had some notes in here on calling their references. Obviously Vikings got a better referral. Bid's a little higher, but maybe it's a get what you pay for.
I don't know if the bid's actually any higher, because if you do a cost schedule for McGuire, it's $48,943.
But is there maintenance program in their contract isn't the same, is it the
No,
cost of
and
service?
that's what I was.
I think
looking
that's
at.
the difference, isn't it?
The cost schedule is with that's what I just asked him, with the 5 years of repairs, which it comes out to $48,943 a year.
But does that includes what Viking calls the service cost?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the point of what I was saying is, if we have another town that gives them anything other than a sparkling recommendation, we fully need to acknowledge that, don't we?
I agree. I mean, I think I'm probably in line for Viking, and I would see that we either do just the 5-year contract for service. Or I could go either way and go ahead and have a service agreement, maintenance program. I would say if we don't do the maintenance program, that we set money aside every year, so that at year 10 or year 12, what they're calling, when it comes time to paint it or do maintenance on it, we have that money set aside. Because that's basically all they're doing, is they're putting money aside to take care of it in 10 more years.
I would prefer that way, in my opinion. The cost, the service cost, and then we can allocate our own. We're disciplined enough, we can set it up.
Hopefully maybe it's not 10 or 12 years, maybe it's 15, and we keep that money in our pocket, we're not paying, I mean.
I guess the only thing I would think, I'm assuming maybe, do we need to have a clean out and inspection every 3 years? Jason, what does the state, do they?
He looks at it every time he comes, which is every other to third year. Sometimes.
The state does, or?
Yeah, he'll want to look at the pictures. And then, and as far as that one, I think it's every 3 years.
But the last time that we had him here, we had to call McGuire's to get the pictures, they never sent them out.
Yeah.
But what I'm asking is does the state require us to have somebody inspect it every 3 years?
They do.
Yes.
So we'll still need to call somebody every 3 years if we don't do a maintenance program with them?
Well, the cost of service, the service, the middle line service cost, that'll include, isn't that the 1,800 every other year? Every third year? Yeah, that's what that is. That's, they want to sign you up for that, no matter what.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure.
Pretty sure that's right. I asked that last time, isn't that correct?
I think that's what he said.
What about, what, somebody explain to me what we're in with McGuire right now and when it goes out.
Through 2026, every 3 years.
I obviously assume that's gonna get complicated when we hire another company to,
I think you can get out at any time, is what you said.
It's not the best of written contract.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
He's been
When we
pushing it.
started that contract, Rick was working for McGuire, and Rick
Right.
took way better care of us than this other guy does.
obviously, right?
And
He
then
was
he
pushing
left
the
and went to Viking, and we were upset that we didn't do it, because the last time they inspected the tower, they didn't do half of what the inspection was. We didn't even know they'd showed up. till they were driving out the driveway.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the consequence of getting out of the current, and
That's-
I could not see it
There's
in the
nothing on
contract.
here.
It's also not even approved through council, so
Well, and I'm
I
not, I
don't know
mean,
if that matters.
it says 1,550 a year, but then it's got this,
16.
the sum of 1,675 per clean hand inspection plus applicable taxes. Guys, I don't know what this is intended to be. I don't know if it's just this is, when you call us, this is what we'll charge, so you're locking your price, or whether you're gonna get a bill in 2023 for $1,550.
Yeah, that's my whole point. I didn't understand it either, which is what, or what's what.
So on Viking, on the 5-year contract and service cost, at year 12, it's 107,000.
That's what I was just asking about. He put that on there, he said that was what he was projecting, that on year 12, that's what we should be expecting
Okay.
for cost.
Yeah.
And I assume you can divide that back out, and I haven't done it, but I'm sure that's what all the top line
Right,
adds up
yeah.
to the dollar.
Yeah,
And he's just putting that as, that's what projected, but as Kyle says, maybe you can scoot that down to year 15.
right, yeah.
But if we do the top money, we'll have the 108,000 or 107,000 as it is.
Well, Rick-
Signing up on that top line, that's a major commitment in my opinion.
Rick has said that whatever we want, how we want to do it, he's willing to work with us if we want to push it out that far.
Right.
I think we just do the 5-year contract for service costs.
Make a
And I
note.
think we just be better as far as putting money away and having that money, which I had asked Jamie, just so you guys are all aware, if I can find my paper.
It is a big thing on the top line,
Not 9,000 a month.
because you already have it.
Showed it to Rob. Here it is.
Well, right or wrong, this is what I'd like to know, and maybe somebody knows it, but I'm gonna assume that water tower's been doing its thing for a long time and probably got minimal attention.
Yeah.
So you go with a 5-year contract, and at year 10, you say that the paint is still good, and the interior's still good after their inspections, and maybe you don't have to do year 12 of 107,000.
Right. And also, I just want us to be able to pick when we want to paint it. I mean, I don't understand the, well, if it needs painted on year 10, we paint it on year 10. If it needs painted on year 12, who decides?
That's what I,
When it
yeah,
needs-
we're gonna pay that, and then they're just gonna say, well, you paid
I
that.
mean, I don't think they will, but we
Right.
can just do it when we want to do it.
Right, yeah, depending on what they're, you can stretch it out into 5 years or 10 years.
We have, I asked Jamie yesterday, the capital improvement water is basically what we charge every utility bill,
Right.
$6 a
Yeah.
month. There's $521,000 in there. And it looks like August was $4,300 that was put back in that. So if you figure $4,000 a month for, I mean, in 4 years, you've about got your money back that you're gonna spend.
We could cash flow this 36. it's fine.
Pretty easy.
So I think.
And
yeah,
the additional,
cash flow
it would
36.
actually cash flow the program, that the line one.
Yeah,
I like that.
I mean, that's what, we figured 48,000 a year roughly.
Right.
So I mean, we've got the money every year for the next 4 or 5 years to, and we've got a pretty big reserve as far as water.
We have to do it.
And I don't know how much they would charge for like a visual inspection. Like, I just get nervous, like, we supposedly got it looked at in 17, like, just the difference that I saw in the pictures from 17 to 20, it makes me nervous. I know we have to do that every 3 years, but would it be beneficial to get eyes on it every year, just in case?
I say we ask Rick that. Isn't he Viking? Of what we want to do, if we want to take that to every 2 years instead of 3?
He's a salesman.
Well, I don't
Well,
know if you even need
really-
the clean out though, but at least someone getting up there and looking at it and just telling us it's okay. Like,
If we give
For at least the next 3 times, you probably aren't gonna have that many issues.
So
So I
that,
don't know as we necessarily need to have an inspection every year. You know, maybe year 10 or 11 after we have it done, we get one done for a couple of years just to make sure everything's right.
he wouldn't put 3 years down if he didn't think it was apparently sufficient. But also, maybe it includes a visual, and the 3 years is just a clean out and inspection.
3 years, $1,800.
Well, the first 5 years, we don't have to worry about it.
Right,
anyway,
right.
So then I guess we decide that later.
Everybody okay? Is that what we want to do?
I'm good with the 5-year contract.
Yeah,
For
I'm fine
With
with
5 years?
Fine, yeah.
We want to bring him in and talk to him first then?
Can we do it subject to my review
Okay.
of the contract? You guys can.
Which we won't have to, all basically, we're not going to be doing any kind of
But
contract of service, I guess. Yeah,
we'll still have to sign a contract for it.
yeah. It should be way simpler than the maintenance program.
I didn't know what you guys intended today, so I haven't looked over anything but this one-page deal. So if you guys pick somebody, can we just do it subject to my review of the contract?
Okay, do we want to bring either one of those gentlemen in here? Rick?
I would say Rick.
Rick, okay.
I'm not sure if that don't care. You got any questions?
Is he Tony from Lamar?
We can ask him about getting on the contract. If we do this 5-year contract for service, Rick, is every 3 years then, is that correct on this?
Well, that would be on a separate contract where you could write that out, yes.
But that's, and so the tank will get looked at every 3 years?
Yes, it'll
Okay.
get cleaned out and inspected every 3 years, but it could be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, Jamie's concern was if 3 years was often enough, but surely giving it a...
You could do it every 2 years, and we typically do it every 2 or every 3 years. And the other thing you could do, if you wanted it just looked at without drained and cleaned out, you could throw just a visual inspection in there, which would be less money, obviously, because we don't have to have the whole,
Right.
we don't have as much into it.
Okay, that's right.
So if we just do the 5-year contract for service cost, we're only paying for the materials and the repairs for 5 years?
Correct. Well, you're getting visual inspections in between there too,
Right.
So we will get visual inspection?
in that 5
In
years.
that 5 years?
Yes.
And what about, is there a clean out inspection in that 5 year at all?
No, you don't, that's why I spaced it the way I did, to try and avoid
Because
that
actually,
cost.
when you do the interior refurb, you're gonna be there.
You gotta drain and wash the tank out anyway. That's why I spaced it like that, so you could cut that cost out.
Okay.
And then we're gonna start out, I think this is how we talk about it, but year 1, we'll get a payment right now, and then we'll that's how you'd prefer it.
Yes, if that were, I mean, that's why discussion and, yeah, I mean, if that makes sense, I mean, that made sense to Jamie, I guess.
We consider this year 1 and the work would be done next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
And with the maintenance program too, like Tony said, it's a year-to-year, it self-renews. So if you want out of it, you can get out of it too. Down the road. I just don't want you to think, some people think they're tied into it forever.
Right. I think we're leaning towards the 5-year contract for service, I guess
Okay.
what we call line 2.
Okay.
I think that's where we're leaning to for now. Is that what everybody thinks?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And we'd like to move ahead with that,
Okay.
I think. That's what everybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, I agree.
And then we'll just set up, will our annual, or will next year's payment actually be when that work's completed, Rick, or will
Well,
that
we
be a
would
year
probably
from
just
now?
do it on the anniversary of when
Okay.
that payment
That's right.
was.
Okay.
We can do it however you
Payment
want.
now, work in 6 months, payment a year from now.
Actually,
And how's that gonna work?
we usually do it on, after we get the work completed.
Okay.
And then that becomes your anniversary date.
Okay, so we'll actually
And
probably.
then it would be every year at that date.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be making a payment here directly, and then our annual's actually gonna start probably in March.
Well, whenever we do the
Whenever
work.
weather permitting.
Right.
Next spring, maybe we should say that.
Yeah. And we may kind of do that a little bit, you know. Well, no, we'd have to pretty much do it all, we'd have to do it all at once. I mean, that's the only practical way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we want everything that you even broke down and broke out price-wise. I think we just want to do it all at once.
Yeah.
Take care of everything. I mean, except.
Well, when we got the weld crew there,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just logical.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Any other questions? Okay, do we need to speak with the McGuire Iron?
That'd make it less awkward for me if I walked out.
Yeah.
But I don't, do whatever you want. I don't, I'm just kidding.
I'm actually ready to make a motion, so I don't, makes no difference to me. I mean, we can call him in here and we can make a motion, or if you guys want to talk to him.
Well, I guess if we wanna visit with him about. Correct.
Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I guess you could tell him to switch, huh?
Yeah, I will.
Council, questions?
I guess, my biggest question is we're in a contract with you guys right now.
That is correct, a service agreement for washout inspections.
What, I mean, is there anything binding us to that contract at the present time, or?
No. None of these contracts really are until work is done.
Right.
There is one thing, if I could, I just had a couple things. One thing I wanted to note in our maintenance program, I have a chemical clean at year 7 from your renovation. And the reason I have that in there is because of water quality and coating performance. So this is what the interior looks like, heavily stained with rust, with high iron content, and with a chemical clean, we can get that to a clean look. And again, it helps the overall water quality. I've got some before and after photos that I would show. I want to make sure that, I guess that is noted that we've got that in there. Because I feel it's important, because that will build up again quickly. And there's some before and after. This isn't as heavily stained, but you can see, the difference when that happens. So we do have that included in there as well. This is a tower that we built in '07, and this year we did a chemical clean on it. So obviously this is more manganese than the iron, but there is some iron, and then there's the result of cleaning that. So I know that was something maybe that wasn't discussed last time, but wanted to note that we do have that included in there as well.
I'll be quite frank with you, I think we're going with Viking.
Okay. I mean, other than price, is there any other reasons?
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't care to discuss them, to be honest.
Oh, well, I'm just
I
trying
don't know how you
to.
guys feel, I'm just being quite frank with you.
Okay. Well, and I appreciate that, obviously. I mean, I'm just trying to learn. I mean, we're a 100-plus-year-old company. We've been around quite a long time, so I just was trying to understand, is all. I didn't know if there was a certain reason why, other than pricing, but are you guys looking at going with a maintenance program or just a contract for services?
I think all we're looking at is just a contract for service,
Okay.
is all we're looking at right now. We feel that we can kind of maintain our own money for the next 10 years to put money aside to be able to do the repairs when it comes time, and we'd like to have the say, you know, if we feel like in year 8 that it needs a new paint job, we paint it hire it to be painted.
That's a great way to do it. Just to, let you know, obviously, we're here, so, I mean, if it's a contract for services, if there's a need, obviously, you got a water tower, you have to maintain it. We'd sure like the opportunity to earn your business the next time.
Well, I appreciate your time to put into it and everything.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I was gonna say, do we want to go ahead and call Rick back in here?
I thought he was leaving.
Did he leave?
That's what I understood when he was walking out.
I don't know if that's what I kind of understood. You might
Okay.
see if he's over there.
Okay, well, it's not really
I
needed, I don't think.
make any difference.
No, it doesn't make much of a difference. Okay, having said that, do I have a motion on the table?
I'd make a motion to do a 5-year contract for service cost with Viking on our water tower for $36,000 a year, pending John's review of the contract.
For the money to come.
For the money to come out of our capital improvement water.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, any more discussion from old business? Do we have any new business? All right. We have a 10-minute executive session to discuss employee performance. Everyone at the table and
I want to say something.
I didn't hear what he said.
I didn't hear.
When we're done with the executive session, I want to go back briefly to old business.
Okay. Okay.
So moved, I guess we can in an executive session.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll resume at 7:54. Call this meeting back to order. John, you had something more to talk about on old business?
Can I get a motion to allow me to write a letter to McGuire, and I can't find that contract, regarding the August 18, 2017 water, well, it just says contract, that their services will not be needed for the 2023 cleaning?
I would make a motion to allow John to write a letter to McGuire Iron to discontinue the contract for 2021.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, you have anything else, John?
That's it.
Okay, having no more business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the table. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
All right, I'll see you.